Hello everyone. So winter has returned, and I have to say this might be one of the winteriest days that we've had in New York this winter. This morning I had about, 6 inches to take care of before traveling back to the 19th century. Today I'm talking about winter weather wear and what pieces I would choose if I was out in the sugar camp. Which, okay, let's be honest, we all know I would not be out in the sugar camp. I don't do well with the slippery and the cold and the, well, winter. But these are my choices. I am going to start my layering with my wool stockings. These are over the knee. What I have on are actually my wool stockings from Delp. Love them. Okay, and then I of course would have on my period winter boots. Those of you that have worn 19th century boots know that there are leather soles and they can get pretty slippery when you're talking about snow, ice, or mud. So luckily I would put some overshoes over that. Rubber overshoes give you just a little bit more traction and are going to help with the snow and the mud. Okay. Then I'm going to be layering over my foundation garments with some petticoats. I actually have on 2 wool petticoats. I have a red one similar to this, my Balmoral style. And then I have more of a work wool petticoat with that. Underneath my wool petticoats, I have a quilted petticoat. My quilted petticoat is cotton on the outside, cotton on the inside, and then the batting itself is wool. Now those layers of wool are going to help me both with warmth and with moisture control. So if I do end up getting into some of the snow and it sticks to me, it's not going to be as gross as what happens when you have the moisture attaching to cotton. Wool it's going to act a little bit differently. All right. Now, I tend to layer these back out. That's going to bother me. I tend to get very cold wrists and hands, as you know. A lot of that has to do with my sewing. So in addition to gloves or mittens, I would opt for either wristlets or undersleeves like this. And that is going to add some additional warmth to this working area here. All right. On my torso, I know you can't see it, but on my far side is my knit bodice. It's basically a sleeveless bodice, kind of like a sweater without sleeves, and a little peplum here. I actually prefer that over the bosom buddy, which is that elongated triangle that crisscrosses over the front and ties in the back. Now, I would pick, yes, I dressed the chair in my coat. This is my choice coat, which is a nice wool. Now, you don't want a coat weight wool for your coat. Basically, you're going to want a heavyweight wool. There is a slight difference in that this is going to give you warmth without the bulk. Your additional warmth is actually going to be your lining, which would be a silk lining most likely because it's easier to slide on and off with quilted wool in that. And I prefer a coat that is going to allow me to have my layers underneath and some flexibility with my sleeves. And since this would be for working outside, I would be careful of how big of sleeves. This is a bit too full if I was going to be working over the fire. Now in terms of headwear, I did oops today. I brought all the pieces I wouldn't recommend. I would not wear the lappet out around the sugar bush or the fire. And I actually wouldn't even pick a quilted. The reason being, while this is warm, I don't like the peripheral vision issue that happens when you're wearing a brim that sits forward. You would, if this is your choice, you would have to pull it back in order to see around you. When you have people working with the fire, the large fire, and all of that maple syrup. I would actually prefer to see a wadded hood, which I did not bring, but that one is going to sit a little bit further back. All right. I think that covers all of my layers. So those are my picks for heading out to sugar camp or the sugar bush. I hope you're staying warm on this day. Spring will probably be here tomorrow.